All right, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to MaxSpeedTV. We do have another great race in store for you here tonight. A little bit lower car count than we were wanting here for this race, but nevertheless, it will be a awesome race here at Lucas Oil Raceway. They run this track 2 weeks in a row here, actually. It's next week, I believe, will be a night race, or not next week, but the week after, as we are off for Mother's Day next week. So we will not be here, and they will not be racing as either. But before we get into all the racing details, though, we do want to cover some of the last-minute stuff here for you. Or first stuff, not last minute. We're going stretching ourselves thin here today, but to all the sponsors here that are part of this for MaxSpeedTV, as well as the racing side of things, we want to give a big shout out to them, starting with the Walls Beard Co. If you have a beard, you're going to need their products. That is a awesome beard balm they sell. They have some organic and natural products there. Make sure you check them out at wallsbeardco.com and get that beard nice and healthy. SimSpeedShop.com. Again, if you're on iRacing and you need a button box or an e-brake, if you are a rallycross racer, make sure you check them out at SimSpeedShop.com. Elite 7 Racing. They are the official dirt team of MaxSpeedTV, so make sure you check them out at Elite7Racing.com for all the latest racing details they have. Ohio IndyCar League, no longer just taking Ohio club members here on iRacing. Make sure if you want to get into some IndyCar racing, you check them out. You can also get up all their latest information at Facebook.com/Ohio IndyCar League. iBog, iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, your sim race broadcast, a graphics source if you're looking to get into broadcasting or just need some overlays for streaming that will pull from the iRacing app file. Make sure you check them out at ibog.co. Again, we're working on getting the latest one in here. That is Northwest Racing Series. We do not have the logo in this particular set of overlays here, but make sure if you are in the Northwest Racing Club here on iRacing and you're wanting to do some Xfinity fixed set racing on Monday nights, or on Thursday night you can do some trucks open set, make sure you check them out on iRacing. On to the racing things, of course. Your championship sponsor here for this series is TJ Woodworking. Their limitation is your imagination. You can give them a call at 515-979-0415. They do a lot of great stuff with wood, custom stuff, paint it. They make it look amazing. That being said, you also have T&D Rustic Decor. They are the title sponsor for this series, and this is the T&D Rustic Decor 100 here at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis. And what a fantastic race it's going to be, representing that sponsor here tonight. That being said, we do have our second chair here with us, and that, of course, is Josh Medlock. So, Josh, welcome to the booth once again for another exciting race.
Oh, yeah, should be a very, very exciting race here tonight, or this evening, I should say, this afternoon here. 100 laps here at Lucas Oil, another short track, as you know very well, this is the short track series. So, you know, bringing back, like you said, you've been saying the last couple of weeks what the trucks you used to race on. And, man, what an exciting race they have brung out. You know, last week they were at New Smyrna, this week Lucas Oil. Off next week, but we'll be back here yet again for Lucas Oil the following week. Going to be a night race like you was talking about. But, man, I've been watching these drivers out here practice, and they are putting in some quick times here this evening, and it's going to be very interesting to watch as they pull 100 laps here.
They are indeed, as we will pull up that pre-race analyst. Partly cloudy, 2 mile per hour winds out of the north. 65 degree air temp, 91 track temp, so not as hot as we've seen. We've seen some of these tracks get a little bit warmer, so that will give them a little bit more grip. This track won't be as slippery because it is a little bit cooler, but like I said, 100 laps, 69 miles, pit road speed 35 miles an hour. These guys are hitting speeds up to about 130, so 100 miles per hour slower on pit road, so they're going to have to get checked up for that. Whether it'll happen under green or caution is yet to be determined. We don't really have a tire or fuel window for these guys at the moment. We'll kind of go from here. Usually we don't see too many cautions. Last week we actually had 97 laps under green flag out of 100. So if we do anything like that, like we did last week, I don't expect to see too many cautions.
Well, then I don't either. Once they get it all lined out here, at Lucas Oil, a lot of these guys, they, have daytime jobs, so they don't have a whole lot of time to practice. They practice when they can. But once they get on the track, they get it lined out, get some practice in here before the race, they figure out what the truck's, how it's going to react to the track over the course of the race. Of course, open sets. They can make the adjustments accordingly to, periodically throughout the race.
They can indeed. And it looks like we got about 10 minutes left here in practice. So before we do, I know you have a copy of them, so let's pull up those point standings here for you, and we'll run through those real fast. Again, looking at our, you want to call him the champion yet, but your points leader, Aaron Maspero, he's won the last 2 races. So he's got a shot here to win this one as too well. He's obviously been on a hot streak. But, he's got some of his good competition right behind him. Jake Forster right behind him by 11 points. Doug Pickering, one of his teammates, by 18 points. And your buddy Trey Galgon sitting in 4th place, only 19 points out. And, of course, Rachel Hunt is your top 5, 21 points out right now. So a very close battle.
It is indeed, and one of the drivers I'm not seeing here this evening is Trey Galgon. Not sure exactly what's going on with him. Of course, in real life stuff may be happening with Trey, but we'll give he's got plenty of time to get in here, get some practice in, and if he is able to show up. But yeah, Trey sitting in that 4th spot. Rachel Hunt, fell 2 spots from last week, currently running in 5th. Scott Page in 6th, Ed Saul 7th, Joshua Drinkwater, one of the guys we have been watching throughout the season, Charles, is one of the guys probably to watch in this race here. I'm not seeing him in here yet either, but he is another guy to watch, sitting currently in the 8th spot. Brian Jones in 9th, and Jason Deere, who is in here up 2 spots from last week, currently rocking in that top 10 in points.
Yeah, definitely. Jason Deere put it together a good run. Landon Heidi is here, so I look to see him probably move up a spot or 2 maybe. Dominic Lee, another one that is not here. I do not believe we will see him again. He has opted to stop racing, so we won't be seeing him. I don't believe so. He's definitely going to fall through. Chuck Kemper back to racing this week after taking last week off due to his arm hurting him, so he is going to be back here. He'll definitely pass Dominic Lee. Brett Osborne is not here. He is actually off racing his go-kart today. Sahil is here as well. This is only his 2nd start. He won the first time he was here. So that's somebody you want to watch. Again, he is 1 for 1 on the races that he has started. Brent Day, I don't believe he's here either. And Caleb Weekly, we know about him. He is not going to be racing until Season 3. School has gotten in the way of fun time, so he won't be here. So there will be some shakeups here in the points after this race is over.
Well, yeah, and there will be, because there's, been some absentees here, and of course others who has opted not to race the rest of the season, or not been able to start until the next season. But regardless of what the case may be, these guys and girls are still out here, still, going to race it up this season. As we look at the practice times they've been putting in here in the 13 minutes they've been practicing, Doug Pickering coming in with a 20.663, so he's right now got the top spot here, but not by much. Aaron Maspero with a 20.678 so far, right there in 2nd. Brian Jones in 3rd, and then Rachel Hunt, the only female out here racing it up with these guys, and she puts her her 2 cents in too. So she has come a long way since she started. She's currently 4th here in practice.
Yes, indeed. And it looks like Stuart Pumphrey is going to be here as well. He signed up for the league. I believe he is teammates with Doug Pickering and Aaron Maspero. But this is his first race. He has not been here before. So that is another new driver that has not been seen before. Did sign up, just hadn't joined, but he is here today. So we're going to keep an eye on him to see where he stacks up against the rest of the competition. As we have, again, still about 6 minutes left in the practice. Why not? Let's see if we can't get Aaron up here, and we'll see if we can't get a quick word in with him. Aaron, you got a copy?
I got you, man.
Well, we just want to get you up here. We have about 5.5 minutes. Don't want to take you too long here. We see you out there practicing, but you've won the last 2 races in a row. What do you think your shots are here at Lucas Oil?
Yeah, well, you never know. It's short track racing, but yeah, Doug's on a good piece on the setup this week. So yeah, we'll just give it everything we've got and see. To be honest.
Well, definitely that is all you can do is give it your all. So again, we expect to see you up there. You're running second here in practice. So we'll see how it goes in qualifying. It's going to be a good battle, I think, between you and Doug, as you're only .016 off of him here in practice. So, again, we look to see you two putting together a good battle. Josh, any questions for Aaron real fast before we give him back down to the pits?
Well, Aaron, man, you got a good shot at winning tonight. Got some confidence brewing coming into tonight. Lucas Oil was won back-to-back. So good luck, man, and hopefully we'll see you there at the end.
Cheers, Josh.
All right, well, again, that was Aaron Maspero running the number 41 here tonight. We got about 4 minutes left. So, again, we still have people coming in. As we were talking about a second ago, Stuart Pumphrey coming in here. So him and Sahil have not put in times yet. But looking here, Chuck Kemper, 5th fastest right now. He's still fighting that arm. He was out practicing earlier today, and it was still hurting him. So he is fighting that arm right now. So it's going to be, a little difficult on him. And someone that I personally would love to see in victory lane, that is the 81 of Ed Sauls. We were talking to him in the pre-race, or before the pre-race show here. You were in there as well. And he hasn't been having the luck he really wanted to here. He's just about every week been caught up in somebody's mess. Or just didn't have a good set that he wanted and got caught up in his own mess. But he is definitely overdue for a win here.
Yes, he is, and Ed Sauls is just one of those guys that, you've got to watch him because he tries his best and unfortunately gets caught up in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But I would be shocked to see Ed Sauls make a run here this evening here at Lucas Oil with these guys and maybe possibly pull out a top 3 here and maybe even upset Aaron Maspero, who's won back-to-back, and maybe pull out a victory here.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a little bit of speed to gain if he wants to do it, I think. 20.946. He is .393 off of the lead. But again, with these little short tracks, if you get a little bit of damage on your car, or truck in this case, if Aaron Maspero was to scrape the wall or him and Doug get together and cause a little bit of damage, that little bit of damage can affect the speed of the truck. And again, they do have one fast repair here, so they could get it fixed, but if you use it up and then you get damage after that, that is going to play a factor in the race. You don't want to get any damage, but again, it's short track racing, so it is possible. So it's just going to be a kind of a wait-and-see game here to see how it all plays out, who's going to come into victory lane, who we'll be talking to after this race. But again, that's coming up here in about minute 40.
A quick repair. You do not want to use that early if you don't have to. The slightest damage is, if it'll go. But we have seen people the last couple of weeks, have to use the reset early because they hit the wall so hard or end up having nowhere to go. to get caught up in somebody else's mess, and they have to use that reset early. But if you can keep from using that reset early, then you might have a shot.
This is true. We have about a minute to go. We're going to step away, get to the national anthem. When we come back, qualifying will be underway, so we'll report those times to you. So again, we'll be right back after your national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, qualifying is underway. Again, nobody has officially put in a time yet, but they are on their laps here to do so. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. We're watching Rachel Hunt right now in the 16, but it doesn't matter. Aaron Maspero, top of the charts right now with a 20.474. Rachel Hunt in a second with a 20.877.
What a time that Rachel Hunt did put in to put herself in on the outside a row. Of course, 2 laps here in qualifying will determine that. Of course, Brian Jones now knocking her out of the top spot of the outside front row here with a 20.661.
Is indeed, and Chuck Kemper to 4th with a 20.909. Landon Heidi right behind him in 5th with a 21.130. That is our first 21-second time. It looks like Scott Page is going to jump to 3rd with a 20.777 in that double zero machine.
And it looks like Stuart Pomfrey disconnected.
Oh, I'm not sure why he would disconnect, but we'll see if he does reconnect here in a little bit. That is unfortunate for him. Maybe he had to fix something that was not working right. We're watching Doug Pickering right now, so he'll put in a time, and we'll see. It's going to jump him to 2nd with a 20.611. Oh, a very good time for him, as we're going to switch over to Jake Forster here. We'll see. He is on his first timed lap right now. We'll see if he can do any better any good this time, but I expect to see him at least in the top 5. We'll see. Right there, 20.537. He puts it to 2nd, dropping his teammate Doug Pickering to 3rd.
They may be teammates, but when it comes down to getting the victory, that all teammates is pretty much thrown out the door. If they're fighting side by side, neither one of them's going to give them the race. They're going to make them race each other for it.
That is very true, and that's exactly what you would expect them to do. You don't expect anyone to just hand it over. It's just a product of racing. You're out for the win. Interesting enough, Ed Sauls shows a last lap of 29.8, but he has not come out onto the track yet. Again, anyway, as we'll switch over here, it looks like we do have Sahil Mustak coming out onto the track. Unfortunately, we can't see his Some of his information does have a white background. We'll look into that, but he currently is being shown in 11th, but again, he doesn't have a time, so this will be it. And he's actually going to spin it out after getting into the outside wall.
And the time for Sahil will not count as he blows his engine
And
here in qualifying.
Yeah, apparently does a backflip on the track. I'm not sure what that is about, but he is going to try it one more time. He's going to go out, and we'll see. He has a minute 5 to do it with a 20-second lap. He has plenty of time to get around the track. He could go around 3 times. He only needs to complete 1 good lap. So, again, he has plenty of time to get around here. And, again, Ed Saul's not connecting, or not qualifying here. So I'm not sure how come he's not qualifying. Expected to see him up towards the front. Stuart Pomfrey, you said disconnected, and it looks like he may not be coming back. We'll see here. We're watching.
Manually disconnected, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with Stewart.
Maybe having some issues there. Maybe the wheel or pedal's not acting the way he wants. Anything could be happening as there is Sahil. 20.459, taking it to the top of the charts here tonight. That was a very fast time with 12 seconds to spare on the clock. So that will do it for qualifying. Again, 3 seconds left on the clock. We have 10 drivers qualified, 11 with Ed, and again, obviously, Stuart Pomfrey is not going to be racing with us here, it doesn't look like. So 11 drivers will start this grid. So not a huge field, but I expect to see some great racing nevertheless here from these guys. And without that being said, I'll go ahead and run through our grid as it's not really enough to divide up here. So your Walls Beard Co. starting grid in the number 18 on row 1 on the inside is going to be Sahil Mustak with a 20.459. On his outside is going to be the number 41 of Aaron Maspero with a 20.474. Row 2 is going to be the 44 of Jake Forster and the 17 of Doug Pickering. Row 3 is going to be the 21 of Brian Jones and the 00 of Scott Page. Row 4 is going to be the 16 of Rachel Hunt and the 40 of Chuck Kemper. Row 5 is going to be the 87 of Landon Heidi and the 45 of Jason Deere. Row 6 is going to be Stuart Pomfrey in the 36, who is not starting here. He is not going to take to the grid as he is disconnected. And the 81 of Ed Sauls, he is on the grid, so he will be starting this race. Again, that was your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. And an interesting fact about this track is you notice them coming off grid, they split off. One goes onto the track and one goes through the exit, or onto the track, and one goes to the exit of pit road. That pit road exit is just too small for 2 cars to go by.
Well, yeah, you don't want to go double foul on that pit road exit. Yeah, so good way they split off there. Of course, they'll get the standard 2 laps here for pacing before they go green flag.
They will indeed. As always, lights are off, but that doesn't mean we're going racing just yet, as pace car will dive off next time by. And note to the ones out there watching, you'll see this pace car dive off pretty early here as pit road starts quite a bit back compared to most tracks. But then again, most tracks are not as small as Lucas Oil.
Oh, Lucas Oil is very small.
It is, and just imagine the power of these trucks around this track. It makes for some great racing. It could spell chaos if it gets out of control, but it's going to be interesting as there is the pace car diving off. And Josh, since you are here tonight, we'll let you get these guys going.
All right, pace car is already off, folks. So here we go. Buckle up and get ready because it's about ready to go short track racing here at Lucas Oil with the T&D Rustic Decord. Green flag is out. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
And there it is. We are racing Aaron Maspero, getting a good start over his teammate there, Sahil Mustak. I believe they're teammates. They do work together a lot, so they're right there battling. But we want to go back a little bit here as we have Scott Page going around but he saves it. Rachel Hunt getting into it a little bit. She got into the outside wall, so she was really the one that lost the most there. But no caution is out, as Aaron Maspero still out front, leading this group of 5 cars. Or trucks, my bad.
Cars, trucks, they have 4 wheels, and they're going around in circles.
This is true. A very small circle with that. But Sahil Mustak lost the lead on lap 1. As again, it looks like Aaron Maspero has led both laps. So Aaron Maspero got by very quickly. And now Doug Pickering's going to get by Sahil Mustak, going to lose several spots. I believe he may have got into that outside wall a little bit and earned some stripes here at Lucas Oil.
Yeah, you know, they call them the Darlington stripes at Darlington. Well, here you can, I guess, call them the Lucas Oil stripes because of how short Lucas Oil is. And I believe that number 18 machine of Sahil Mustak did grab the Lucas Oil stripes.
I believe he did too. Maybe he hit a little oil out there or something. It doesn't show to have too much damage, as we'll zoom into him a little bit here. He does not have a whole lot of damage on the outside. Maybe he just got it loose. Maybe he didn't actually hit the wall. I'm not sure, but he definitely lost several spots. He's still all over the back bumper of Brian Jones, and it looks like he is going to recover and get by Brian Jones here on lap 5. We'll just have to see. He does indeed get by him. And we want to look back here to Chuck Kemper. He's been working on this paint job all week, and that is just one awesome-looking paint job there that he painted this week. And I believe he does paint the 81s as well. As we'll check in with Ed Sauls, running in 7th, started 12th, so he's working his way through the field. And it looks like Ed's going to get into the wall, but somehow recovers from it quite nicely. So he does indeed recover from that, and he's going to get by Chuck Kemper now to put Chuck Kemper back in 7th position.
Well, I do not have treading paints updated, so I'm not seeing Chuck Kemper's paint, so we'll load that up real quick. Caution's out.
Caution is out. And another one that Chuck Kemper painted, I do believe, that is the 45 of Jason Deere. Let's go back here. We'll look about 40 seconds back, and we'll see what happened to Jason Deere. From the way it looks, I don't think he had any help here. So we'll see. I believe he just got it loose all by himself. All seemed well here. Yeah, he was going up to avoid, he was going a lap down, just trying to get out of the leader's way, and spun it out all by himself. So the 45 of Jason Deere will be getting that EOL penalty once pit stops are completed, assuming he's not already back there anyway. As it looks like everybody's coming down pit road. He's already on pit road himself, so he is going to go multiple laps down and take care of any damage he might have. He may have towed. I didn't see any damage on that truck, so it looks like he possibly may have towed to pit road, but again, I don't think he hit anything.
Now, I don't believe he did hit anything at all either, but I believe he might have towed. I do believe he did.
Yeah, and maybe the engine blew up. I didn't see any smoke either, but anything could happen. So while we have under caution here, Rachel Hunt's coming back into pit road. Let's see if we can't get Jason Deere up here and see what might have happened there. Jason Deere, you got a copy?
Yep.
Well, we saw that. Did it just break loose on you there?
Yeah.
We noticed you had you towed into pit road. Was something wrong with the truck that you had to tow it, or just getting it in there?
Just getting it in there, getting out of everybody's way.
Well, you had a decent run there going. You weren't too high in the field, but you were running smooth, having a good day. So are you going to be able to get back out there and see if you can't log some more laps?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, well, good to hear. We got you here for the moment. Any quick shout-outs you want to give for getting you to this race today?
Thanks for Chuck Kemper for all the help, and TND, the rest of the core, and TJ Wordworking.
All right, well, hopefully we'll get to have another word with you. Hopefully it won't be because of a spin there, but definitely one of the one of the good drivers here in this series, dedicated and loyal for sure. So again, hopefully we'll get to talk to you again here soon.
Hopefully.
All right, again, that was the 45 Jason Deere just breaking loose here under caution. So he is back on the track. So typically he would get an EOL, but he is already at the back of the field anyway, 4 laps down. So, that's pretty much at the rear of the field. You can't go much further back, unfortunately. So he is going to tag the back of this one. But it looks like the lights should go out this time, and they are indeed. Next time by, we'll get this thing started again.
Yeah, it looks like the 81 of Ed Sauls and the 41 of Aaron Maspero is going to lead them to the line here for the green flag restart.
Yeah, and interesting note here, that was our first caution, 5 laps, 88 laps to go. Taking a look here, Ed Sauls did not pit. He's got 13 laps on those tires. He is out front on older tires, but he knows what he's doing out there. He's an experienced driver, a veteran here in this series. So he's going to definitely see, as there it is, green flag is back in the air. Can he hold off the pack coming? Doesn't look like it's going to happen, and they're going to go 3 wide for second place already here with the 17, the 81, and the 40.
Oh, we have a touch between the 81 and the 17, and the caution will fly.
Caution will fly, and the 17 and 81, let's go back and take a look and see what happened there. Not sure what happened, but we are up here in the blimp camera to find out. I'm not sure. I'll take a look. Maybe the 81 came down. Did the 17 go up? I'm not sure.
Looking like the 17 might have came up into the 81, but as close as they are racing there, 3 wide, man, I don't know.
It looks like we're going to take another look at that real close here. Go back again. I'm not mistaken. I think the 81 may have come down. He slid up, made contact with the 40, and then looked like he shot back down the track. Maybe he didn't know the 17 was there when he was coming back down, but that's what it looked like what happened. We'll see here. There, they make contact. He shoots down, and the 17 was just trying to apex the corner. So, it's a really tough call to say here. As we'll go to a different angle here to see if we can see something else, but we don't want to take too much time. We're taking another look here from the rear chase camera of the 81, and you see right coming in here, contact almost made between those, and we'll see. That is going to be a very tough call to make. I have a feeling it's going to be the 81 of Ed Sauls. That is probably going to be the one at fault there. Almost made contact with the 40, tried to recover from that, and it came down into the 41. But it looks like he is on pit road anyway, so he is going to the back. So again, really no penalties, as we'll see. Doug Pickering is going to be behind him, so yeah, they are going to have to put the 81 of Ed Sauls and EOL him and put him at the back of this field.
Ready?
All right, so again, the 81 of Ed Sauls is going to be getting that EOL penalty. Again, it's a tough call. That's what it would look like here in the booth to us. Maybe the 81 just came down just a little bit after almost getting into the 41, or the 40, my bad, of Chuck Kemper, and then just collided with the 17 as he was trying to get off of him. So again, that's bringing out the caution here for the second time. So 2 cautions, 9 laps, 83 laps to go. As next time by, we will get the green flag once again.
That was a tough call to make, with them being as close as they was right there. I don't see how admins can do it.
It is a very tough job for whoever has to do it, that is for sure. And you don't have much time to do it. You only have like 3 laps to diagnose what happened. And, sometimes you make the right call, sometimes they don't. But, you don't have much time to do it. And they just have to do exactly what they do and, stick with it. But that being said, that caution is over. Now there it is, a green flag back in the air once again, and Sahil didn't get going. Not Sahil, Aaron Maspero didn't get going as much as he would like, and that field got checked up, but it looks like everyone's going to recover from it here, as now it is Chuck Kemper out front.
Yeah, that 44 got into the back of the 41 of Aaron Maspero there on that restart. Now that 41 is going to have some rear end damage on there. Not much damage showing on the 44 machine of Jake Forster, but nevertheless, you really don't need the aerodynamics here at a short track such as Lucas Oil, but you do need the downforce on that back end to help push and get grip on those back tires.
Yeah, you really do. And it's, it's fortunate. It looked like maybe Aaron Maspero just didn't get going as quickly as he wanted to, or as quickly as the 44 of Jake Forster thought he was going to get going anyway. And it kind of bottled the field up, but, racing is racing. Mistakes happen. So it's all said and done now, and we're moving forward. As that front 5 still kind of pulling away from the rest of this field. Really the top 4, with Sahil just right there nipping at their heels. And checking in with our 2 that were involved in that last caution, Doug Pickering is up to 7th. He is working his way back through the field. Ed Saul's still back in 10th position. He has already led 4 laps in this race, so he is on the lead lap, so he's just picking them off one at a time, as it looks like Scott Page is going to be his next victim to see if he can't get by him.
Yeah, he's fighting that 0-0 right now. Scott Page has got company though right up ahead of him, and the number 16 machine of Rachel Hunt looking to the inside now of the 17 of Doug Pickering. So it was looking like that 16 of Rachel Hunt was going to get around the 17, but now Landon Heidi in that 87 is looking to the inside of the 17 machine.
Yeah, Landon Heidi, I believe this is his second or third race. I believe he missed last week's race. I don't recall him being there, but he is coming back here, as we did see him spin in practice, but he hasn't done it here. He's been able to hold his own. Again, in practice, they push it a little bit more than they probably will during the race. And he's having to push it quite a bit if he wants to catch that 17 of Doug Pickering. Again, after a little incident, it pushed him back a little bit, but he's fighting his way and looking just ahead of them. Brian Jones is doing everything he knows how to do in this truck to try to hold off Aaron Maspero and Jake Forster. And he's doing a fairly good job of it right now, but I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be hold off that 41 of Aaron Maspero. He is just so fast here.
Yes, he is. And, of course, look at Chuck Kemper, up here up front. Not really by himself, but nevertheless, he's up here.
He is indeed.
Even with a hurt arm.
Yeah, even with a hurt arm, he's up there leading this race. And now that Aaron Maspero is clear, the question is how long will he lead that race? Again, that is a Silverado versus a Toyota here today. And we'll see. It's going to be at the line that time, Chuck Kemper. But here comes Aaron Maspero. And Aaron Maspero will take the lead, and then he's going to lose it as fast as he took it. As Chuck Kemper, obviously a veteran champion here in this truck series, and he's not going to give it up without a fight. And look at the battle, really even a four-way battle for the lead right now.
And the 41 of Aaron Maspero will take over the lead over Chuck Kemper there, driving it on the inside, 40 into the wall.
That is not good. I'm not sure if he had any help there, as he looks like they were just battling hard and ended up getting into the wall. So just about everybody here is probably going to hit that wall at some point. But again, same thing with Chuck Kemper. You're looking at him right there in that 40, back in sixth position now from the lead. He doesn't have a whole lot of damage to the truck, as he just barely scraped it. So a good job for him to save it off of the wall and not get a whole lot of damage.
And that's one thing about getting into the wall on a short track like this when you've got a whole lot of cars around.
Oh, 44 going around. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened to cut you off, but 44 going around. Something happened to him. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Josh.
That's not a problem, man.
We'll see if we can figure out what happened here to the 44 of Jake Forrester here to bring out the caution. Not sure what happened. He was running so smooth, too. It looked like he just broke out of nowhere. Not sure if he had help maybe from the 17 of Doug Pickering. I think he just broke it loose.
He did. I do believe he just broke it loose there and, tried to do what he could to save it and could not save it. And the 17 of Doug Pickering had nowhere to go. And when he came back up on track, he just unfortunately slammed into that 44 machine. And so the 44 machine looks like we'll get a cause caution.
Is indeed. 44 will be getting the EOLs right there. Yep, just broke it loose from the blimp mode and end up getting into his teammate there of the 17 of Doug Pickering. Everyone else able to avoid it, but that is unfortunate for the 44. But lone spin there all by himself, and it looks like everyone is on pit road or getting off of pit road, so he'll get that penalty as soon as pit stops are complete. And right now he is being shown in 7th, so obviously he will get that penalty as we have somebody spinning here on the track under caution. I believe it's Jason Deere going to spin it out under caution. Everyone avoids him though, so no harm there done. I'm not sure what happened to him, but again, Jake Forrester, as pit stops are complete, will be going to the back of this field here shortly.
Just giving the EOL for that number 44 machine.
And he will take it to the back. It's unfortunate. As soon as Scott Page passes him, they will be in the correct order. Jason Deere obviously 2 laps down, so he will indeed stay in front of him. But Scott Page still coming up. There he is. Scott Page getting back to his rightful position in 10th. We're going to be 9th place when it's all said and done. As it looks like Jake Forster's going to come in and take another pit stop here of a couple of drivers coming in. Rachel Hunt coming in as well. Doug Pickering coming in, and even Jason Deere coming down pit road. So we got some drivers making some extra pit stops here.
Yeah, it looks like that number 44 machine will slot it into his pit stall there.
He will indeed. We'll see where he comes out in all of this. This may require. They may have to give him a second EOL as he is not being shown in 8th place. There he goes. He is letting these guys by, so it is still there. He's going to let them by. Doug Pickering still on pit road as he is coming out, so he should go by Jake as well. Again, that indicates right there we have 1 lap to go to get this thing racing once again. So Doug Pickering definitely has to catch up with this field. He's got to get by the 45, and we'll see. He is going to do so now. He's going to have to pick up the pace quite a bit if he wants to get up there to him, so he can get in front of the 44 of Jake Forrester. There he goes. He will get by. So there we go. EOL is good to go. So we're getting this thing ready. They're going to get punched up at the back of this field. That means the front of this field is ready to go. Josh, we'll let you get them going this time.
All right, pace car does dive in. Green flag is back out. The number 41 machine going to lead them to the line.
And
we are back underway.
We are indeed. Chuck Kemper up to 3rd. So he fell back to a 6th after leading the race here for quite some time. He led 10 laps, went back to 6th after scraping the wall, but he's back up there, and he's got his teammate Ed Sauls in the 81 right behind him. Those two pushing each other here, so we'll see. Can they get a 1-2 finish here from Aaron Maspero? He's got Brian Jones all over his back bumper, and we talked about that damage on Aaron Maspero. Will that damage cause him any downforce problems? which will allow Brian Jones to get by him. So far, it doesn't look like it's hurting him at all.
No, it's not. You know, Aaron Maspero trying to make it a three-peat here for the TND Rustic Decor Short Track Series. Now, we know Aaron Maspero has been known to win back-to-back races. So it's going to be something to watch throughout the race here for that 41 machine.
He has indeed been known to do that. Brian Jones, that is your defending champion from Season 1. So you have a proven winner and a proven champion there. Looking behind them, another proven champion in the 40. So you have some serious competition right there in the top 3. You have a winner of many races, and Rachel Hunt's going to go around. We'll see what happened there as we'll go back and take a quick look. Not sure.
It looks like she just lost it.
Yeah, we've seen that. That's been the theme here tonight, is just people going around on their own. As there it is, yeah. She comes out of the turn 4 and just loses it. And we'll see here. I'm not sure if anybody's really going to come down pit road, as we were just there a few laps ago. It seems like it was actually about 9 laps ago. So I'm not sure if anybody's going to come down. It looks like your leader, Aaron Maspero, is going to come down pit road, though.
It looks like we do have some takers coming down pit road here. It looks like Rachel Hunt's going to come down pit road as well. So there are some takers going to come down pit road.
They are indeed, and we'll have to kind of wait here and see how it shakes it out. Rachel Hunt, of course, will get the EOL. Depending on where she shakes it out here, she may already be back at the back of this field. If she is, they won't issue an EOL. If she's not, they, of course, will issue that EOL from race control. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see how it all plays out, as it looks like she is currently being shown as the one of the last ones back there. Jason Deere behind her. So we'll just have to wait and see. Jason Deere is still 2 laps down. So right now she is being scored in 9th. Doug Pickering behind her, but only due to the fact that he didn't get off pit road in time with her. So there it is. Rachel Hunt will be getting the EOL now as pit stops are done. Looks like Landon Heidi is going to come in and get his pit stop now.
The number 16 machine will get that EOL.
And yeah, she made her way up to 7th after her pit stop, so she will unfortunately have to settle back to the back of the field. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, Chuck Kemper back in the saddle seat again. He is leading this race. He has led 10 laps, going to be 11 at the line as we are approaching the halfway point here. Take a look at our cautions real fast. 4 cautions, 14 laps out of the 45 completed. 55 laps ago. We've had 10 different lead changes here so far. So a very good amount of lead changes, as we've had several different leaders here already. As I'm not sure, they may have to issue Rachel Hunt another EOL, as it looks like there are some drivers ahead of or behind her that should be ahead. The 44 of Jake Forster behind her, as well as Doug Pickering. So they may have to reissue that EOL for the 16 of Rachel Hunt.
You may do that.
Yeah, go ahead. She should be behind those, so they're going to reissue that. And then she will let those by, as she was the lone sprinter here due to pit stops and stuff. They should be ahead of her. Doug Pickering getting up to catch up, and he will pull where he belongs. There we go. Everyone as is where they should be here. So everyone should be good here. We go back to the front of this field. Chuck Kemper gonna be leading this race. This should be hopefully one of the last starts we have here, as the green flag is back out. Chuck Kemper leading them to the start-finish line once again. And here comes Aaron Maspero on the outside, and Aaron Maspero looks to be a very dominant truck here. He has led 26 laps. Kemper led 13. And now here comes Ed Sauls, who has led 4 here. He wants to get back to the front.
Well, yes, he does. And Aaron Maspero in that 41 machine doing everything he can to keep it that 81 behind him. But, you know, there's still a whole lot of laps left here, and they'll go by pretty quickly, being this track is only a little over half a mile long.
It is indeed, as Ed Sauls spinning it, collecting his teammate. They both go around. Caution is out. Ed Sauls once again bringing out the caution here and collecting his teammate, the 40 of Chuck Kemper. Let's go back and take a look. Ed Sauls bringing out the caution once again. And we're going to take a look. He just broke loose. I do believe he did scrape the wall the lap before. And we'll see right there, he does scrape it again. And I believe he just broke loose.
I believe he did too, and he tried to do everything he could to save it. Chuck Kemper in that 40 tried to do everything he could to dodge it, and unfortunately could not. And of course, that will bring out the second EOL for that 81 machine.
It has indeed, and he's on pit road, so looks like he may go some laps down here, so that will kind of null and void any EOLs, as he's going to be at the back, obviously, multiple laps down if he doesn't get out. And we'll see. He does actually get out on the lead lap, so he will be issued that EOL as soon as everyone gets done with pit stops here. We'll see when they get that one to go, we'll issue that EOL for him. But he is right now being scored in 8th, but obviously it will go back. Scott Page on pit road here. He's going to get some fuel and tires. We'll see if he takes 4 tires. He is indeed going to take 4 fresh tires and some fuel. So he will be probably good to go, I'd imagine, as we're over halfway done with this race. And it looks like everyone has indeed completed pit stops. So Ed Sauls in the 81 going to be issued his second EOL of the night. And there he is receiving that EOL. As you can see him going to the back. Unfortunately, he didn't collect his teammate into any incidents. However, he did, Chuck Kemper did have to check up, and in the process of checking up, ended up spinning himself out. So, you know, the 81 is still, you don't want to say he's at fault, is Chuck didn't hit him. He did just spin out trying to avoid it. So that's unfortunate for Chuck Kemper, but he is going to be sitting in 7th, so he could rebound from this pretty easy.
Yeah, and he could. You know, it's such a short track. He's right up there with it. Now, Ed Sauls could bounce back fairly easy, too, you know, with Lucas Oil being such a short track.
He could indeed, and they still have a little under half of the race to go. Just about 46 laps to go here in the race, so still plenty of laps to go. As again, it says 47 laps to go, my bad. We've had only 20 caution laps. It seems like a bunch, but only had 20 thus far of the 54 completed. So 33 laps of the 54 under green flag condition. 11 lead changes. Again, 47 laps to go. Pace car is diving off. So this time by, we will get the green flag. Everybody already starting to pick up the pace just a little bit, as they will gain about 2 or 3 miles per hour. As right there, green flag is back in the air. We're racing once again, and Aaron Maspero on the inside this time. He will start this field, and it looks like he is going to pull ahead of the 21 ever so slightly, but he doesn't have him clear enough to get in front of him. There, now he does. So Aaron Maspero back out front, as he's led 32 laps here in the race today.
Yes, he has, and I am watching that number 40 machine of Chuck Kemper there. Oh! 87.
No caution comes out somehow. I don't know how that happened. Something happened with there's the caution right there. Let's go back and take a quick look at that and see what happened. What happened with the 87 here? We'll go to the blimp camera here. Watch this from above. Not sure what happened. It looked like it started back here with the 87 of Landon Heidi. Oh, Rachel Hunt actually got into the 87. Well, I guess you could technically say that was one continuous thing, as it looked like, we'll get your opinion on this. Here from the blimp mode, it looks like the 16 of Rachel Hunt actually slid up into the 87 of Landon Heidi, and that set a chain of events in motion.
Well, yeah, you know, they were racing side by side. The 16, it looks like, got into the 87. The 87 hit the wall. Then the 17 got into the 87, and it just went on from there. The 87, you know, bouncing back off of the 17, 87 into the wall hard, sent the 17 into the grass, and of course it was just on from there.
It was indeed on from that point on. So we'll see once it's all settled out. The 16 will get her second EOL of the night. You know, it wasn't a definitely anything intentional. It was just a racing deal. Just slid up into the 87, and that set off a chain of emotion or events that led to the actual caution coming out. You know, you have that's what race control looks for, is they have to be tough. You know, if it had happened and then a lap or two later the other had happened, it would be a different story. But when something like that happens and it directly comes less than 10 seconds after that contact was made, that is what set that chain of events in motion. People having to check up, brake. So it's unfortunate for Rachel, as she will get her second one, and I don't think anybody's going to pit here this time, as they were just on pit road. Some of these guys less than a lap ago. So again, the 16 of Rachel Hunt will be getting that second EOL of the night. Well, there it is. Everyone going to be getting by her here. Doug Pickering fixing to pass as well. Not sure if he is. There he goes. He is going to get by. Scott Page is now 2 laps down. He's been on pit road for quite some time. Jason Deere 1 lap down, as we're set in the field is in order. We should get the one to go this next time by.
Jake Foister up front, bouncing back from the little incident earlier that he was involved in.
Indeed.
Chuck Kemper on the outside of him.
These guys have been up and down all race long, throughout this entire race, as Chuck Kemper back up at the front as well. So is Ed Saul, so both of them bounce back very good, as well as Jake Forster, as you were talking about. So all of these drivers have bounced back quite well here in this race. Is who's been up front is in the back, and who's in the back has been in the front now. So all over the place as far as who has been where. We've had several lead changes here tonight real fast while we're under caution for a few more seconds. 14 different lead changes, 40 laps to go as we are set to go here. And there it is, a green flag back in the air. Jake Forster leading them to the line this time. Well, it looks like Jake Forster is going to get a huge lead for that matter, as over Chuck Kemper in the 40. The 41 of Aaron Raspero is battling extremely hard with him, trying to get by him. Back behind him, Brian Jones and Ed Sauls duking it out side by side. That's a battle for 4th position, as they're both trying to get by Chuck Kemper as well, but they've got to get by each other first. One of them's going to come out on top, as it looks like it's going to be Brian Jones. Now Brian Jones is going to get by, or try to get by, Chuck Kemper in the 40.
Jake Forster still up front here, and it looks like we've got somebody that tapped the wall, that number 87 machine. And no caution, did a very good job of, staying up there, but that 87 will get into the wall.
He will indeed. Chuck Kimber in the 40 got into the wall as well. So, again, everybody has pretty much scraped that wall here tonight. As we'll look back here, we haven't talked about him since the start of the race here, and that is Sahil Mustang. He started in first. He's back in 7th right now. He's trying to fight his way back to the front after he got into the wall and lost several spots, and he just hasn't been able to get back to the front since he lost the lead. But I believe he led. No, he did not. He did not lead any laps, actually, as Aaron Maspero was able to get by him very quickly as he is almost spinning it. There he got really loose coming out of the corner.
And Maspero trying to fight his way back up front. Jake Forster, though, up there getting really close to the wall going into the corner, but he knows he's got that 41 behind him. Going to try to do everything he can to make it a three-peat here, and that 41 is looking to the inside of Jake Forster.
He is indeed. Again, those two race together a lot. They practice with each other, and they're trying to get a 1-2, but obviously, if you're Jake Forster, you want it to be 1-2 the way it is now. If you're Aaron Maspero, you want it to be 1-2 with yourself in front. That's going to put together, make some good racing because they're side by side at the line, and I barely think Jake Forster had him at the line, but Aaron Maspero is going to pull it out and take to the lead. So your new leader is the 41 of Aaron Maspero here tonight, but I'm pretty sure they were dead even at the line. That was just a fantastic battle for the lead.
Well, yes, it was. 41, had to do what he had to do to get around that 44, but that battle is not over with yet. I imagine that 44 machine's going to try to figure out a way to get back up front and battle it out again with that 41.
I definitely would imagine he would as well. And you never know. You can't count out the 21. That is Brian Jones. He's sitting back there. He is going to try and get by these guys as well. So he is going to get in there. Chuck Kemper still battling in 4th position. He's got Landon Heidi coming right behind him. Sahil Mustak has managed to get by Ed Saul's 4-6 position. And he's trying to get a top 5 finish here from Landon Heidi as he's all over his back bumper right now.
Oh, yes, he is. He is putting it to him, doing everything he can to, make him nervous enough to make a mistake. And here comes that number 18 machine. Boy, he got really close to that 87.
He did indeed, and he's a very good driver. He knows what he's doing out there. He's just taking his time as he gets into the wall there, making a little bit of a mistake. But he did get into the wall. There wasn't even a scrape. It looked like he kind of drove up the wall, to be honest. But he is still right there. He is not giving it up, and he gave a shot to the back bumper of the 87 of Landon Heidi.
Another one to watch that I have been watching here since, the 81 around.
81, Ed Saul's going around all by himself once again to bring out the caution here on lap 74. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to him, but I believe he did go around just all by himself. We're watching it up from the blimp camera here. Again, I don't think he got into the wall, just kind of broke it loose.
It looks like it just snapped loose on him, and that's what'll happen when you're at high rate of speed coming out of the corner, and if it snaps loose on you like that, you've got to be really quick, as it looks like the 81 will tag the inside wall there, but not do any major damage.
Yeah, he didn't do too much, so he'll be able to recover from it. As, again, that was a very slight tap to the wall. And look who's back up at the front of this race here. That is the 16 of Rachel Hunt leading some more laps here. We'll take a look real fast. She has now led 2 laps. We'll see if she stays out or not. Doug Pickering going to stay out as well in 2nd place. He hasn't led any laps here today, but he is staying out on the track.
believe Ed Sauls is on a pit road.
He is indeed. He's leaving pit road now. We'll see if he indeed... look how he may have been speeding there, but he definitely got off pit road. So hopefully not. That might have just been him getting up to speed. He is already being shown in 10th place, the last car on the lead lap at the back of the field. So that will obviously null and void any EOLs if he stays at the back. As it looks like Jason Deere is going to make a pit stop, so that will force that EOL as well. Once pit stops are complete for everyone here with 1 to go, Ed Sauls will get the EOL. But that will be his third EOL of the night. So caught up in several cautions here of the night.
You know, short track racing, you know, and spinning it out by yourself, you know, you got to really keep control of your truck. But, you know, you're at such a high rate of speed coming out of the corner as it is, and losing control. You know, he didn't collect anybody with him, just by himself. Of course, he gave himself the EOL, as he is one of the admins here for this evening. So I'm trying to pull a double duty here tonight. First time doing a race control as well, and you know, it's easier said than done, to be honest.
It is definitely tough, and we are short an admin here. Our normal admin got last-minute tickets to Dover for the NASCAR race. Obviously, he wasn't going to turn that down, so again, shout out to Brandon and Kaufman, who normally does this job, but you know, he couldn't pass up the opportunity to get pit passes to Dover, and I don't blame him one bit. I'd have probably done the same thing. Is definitely something that you don't necessarily get to do often, much less get pit passes to do it. So, you know, he does a good job here. You don't realize that how important those admins are until you don't have one here. It looks like everyone is set. Caution is out. Everyone bunched up, though. Pace car is in. We are going to be 20 laps to go. Next time by, here's green flag is out. Again, next time by, 20 to go. Rachel Hunt got passed quite quickly by Doug Pickering, as he is finally going to lead some laps here. And it looks like we have Brian Jones going around. No caution so far, though. Will this caution come out? He's getting off the racing surface. He gets it going again, though. So, prior it is caution coming out, but I think it was for Rachel Hunt, not for Brian Jones.
It was for Rachel Hunt there. They were kind of 3 wide. Get a closer view of what happened there. The 44 was onto the inside of Rachel Hunt. It looks like the 16 kind of came down just a little bit and ended up tagging and spinning. So I believe the 16 will end up getting that EOL.
Yeah, then you see, as we're watching the replay here, the 21 went around. That did not cause the caution, though. We're watching the 16. Yeah, the 16 coming down. And what you have to check in here is we'll take another quick look to go back here as we watch this replay. You have to remember where they're at when this caution come out. You know, so you know who's going up and who's going down. As right there, you'll see the 21 go around. That did not bring out the caution. The 41 is at the point where they contact, should have been going up, which is exactly what he was doing. So look, right there, contact is made. We're going to go back just a little bit and watch that one more time here. Such slight contact, too, on top of that. But indeed, I do believe the 16 came down a little bit and caused the caution. But she's on pit road still, so we'll see if indeed she does get it back out onto the track. But right now, Doug Pickering is your race leader.
We'll actually see where that 16 comes out at. Now, I've got her scored in the 7th spot here, so I believe she will get the OL and move to the back.
You will indeed. Jason Deere is pitting, but he is already a lap down, so Rachel Hunt will be issued the EOL and only really dropped back one spot here, so she's not going to lose too terribly much on that because of pit stops. So, again, she's not going to lose too much. Only one car going to go by, and she is back, going to get to the rear of this field. But again, several cautions here tonight. We'll take a look. We are at 8 cautions for 34 laps with 17 to go. This is probably the most cautions we've seen here in this series. Again, but this is probably one of the shorter tracks that we've seen this series as well. Oh, we'll see Chuck Kemper on the outside of Doug Pickering. We'll see if he can get by him again. This should be probably the last restart of this race. Doug Pickering, though, has 26 laps on his tires compared to 9 for the other top 3 drivers, 9 for 4th, and 7 for Sahil Mustak with his, and then everyone else after that 3 and 2, and even 0 tires. Or 0 laps on their tires. Can Doug Pickering hold off Chuck Kemper for the win, or is somebody else, even Landon Heidi, Aaron Maspero, going to get up there and try to make a bid for the win?
Going to be an interesting restart here. 17 and the 40.
Is indeed, and we'll let you get them started here on this restart, which hopefully should be our last restart of the race.
Yeah, pace car will dive in. The number 17 of Doug Pickering going to lead them to the green flag here on this restart. 40 of Chuck Kemper going to be on the outside of him. So it's going to be amazing to see how they get the restart here. The 87 of Landon Heidi in third, and the green flag is back out. Great start by all of these drivers.
Indeed, as they're going to go 3 wide back here. It looked like they were bumper to bumper to bumper here for the 87, the 18. As contact's made, the 87 going around. No caution so far. I don't know how caution is not coming out for that, but there was some serious contact made there early on that. So that may be a post-race issue that has to be taken care of. But contact was made. I'm not sure if it was with the wall first or if it was just somebody broke loose, but somehow no caution coming out, and that is going to send Landon Heidi to the back of the field.
I'm going back and checking at this, and it looks like the 81 of Ed Sauls hit the wall, bounced down, hit the 87 machine, the 80, in which turned the 87 into the 18, which sent both of those into the grass.
And that is unfortunate, and that'll have to be something they have to look at post-races. Ed Sauls, the 81, back into the wall again, as he has gotten into the wall several times. And once again, the 81 looked like he may have caused that one. We'll see. The 44 recovers from it this time, though, better than the last group did, but the 81 of Ed Sauls is just into the wall. He is all over the track right now. Meanwhile, his teammates up there trying to battle for the lead, but I don't know if it's going to happen. Aaron Maspero, he is leading this race. Chuck Kemper behind him. Doug Pickering trying to get by Chuck Kemper, but I'm not sure if he has time to do it. 9 laps to go. As now he has Brian Jones all over their back bumper. That is a huge battle for second place.
Yeah, it is. 3-car pack right here. You've got Chuck Kemper, Brian Jones, and you've got the 21. The 21 Brian Jones and the 17 of Doug Pickering. Man, these guys are just battling out right here.
They are indeed, and I just don't know who's going to get second right now. These guys are so close together. As this is just crazy how close they are. And here it comes. The 21 is, I'm not sure if a contact was made there or not. If it wasn't, it was really close, and that's going to push Chuck Kemper all the way back to 4th position. I'm not sure if Brian Jones got into the 40 or not there, but it was definitely close. Brian Jones is giving no room to anybody above him. He's got lots of track below him, but he is not giving any room to anybody above him right now.
Looks like there might have been just a slight bit of contact there between them two as I went back and I took a look at it. But nevertheless, no caution, good save by all these drivers out there.
Is indeed, as Brian Jones will get by. Again, that's a battle for 2nd position. Again, I don't think Brian Jones gave him any room. I think he probably could have given them a little more room, and then maybe some of that contact wouldn't have happened. And it makes you wonder if the 17 had just let the 21 by to avoid getting himself involved in a wreck. As I'm not sure, maybe the 17 just is pushing up or what, but he is definitely riding about as close as he can to somebody when he passes them. Meanwhile, 4 to go. Aaron Maspero is still out front, and he has led plenty of laps here as well. Look, he has led 47 laps here today.
A lot of laps led for Aaron Maspero, and he's still out there dominating the race here. He now has a commanding lead over 2nd place Brian Jones, and Doug Pickering sitting in 3rd, and that has moved Chuck Kemper back into the 4th spot. Jake Forster in that 44 machine currently sitting in 5th. A nice recovery though by that 16 of Rachel Hunt. She is now up here into the 7th position.
He is indeed moving her way up. She may get by Ed Sauls in the 81s for 6th position. We'll have to kind of wait and see here. There it is. There is your race leader at the moment. He's going to cross the line here, and that will put it at 1 to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series. Again, white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Aaron Maspero. He is probably going to be your race winner unless something drastic happens here between now and the start finish line, but I don't think it's going to happen right there. Aaron Maspero bringing home the win here at Lucas Oil Raceway.
It looks like the 21 machine of Brian Jones will finish in the 2nd spot, and Doug Pickering in 3rd.
It will indeed. So give us just a moment. We'll be right back with your post-race show here in just a few moments.
Well, all right, coming in to tonight here, third in points, finishing in the third spot here, Doug Pickering in that number 17 machine. Doug, 100 laps down here at Lucas Oil, coming into the night in third in points as well. So talk about the racing down there, man, and just how tight it was to pass.
Oh, it's really hard to pass. I mean, I took a hit early on with Jake when Jake lost it early on, and I had to take my fast repair and went to the back, and then I thought, let's just take it easy on the tyres and take the track position the next caution, which we did. Got the track position, and I was thinking if it goes green and I can get around Rachel on the outside, there's going to be a lot of people struggling to get past Rachel and then get up to myself. So I thought I'd have a good chance of taking the win, but it wasn't to be with the run. But yeah, really hard to get past people. We had a great battle with Brian and Chuck those last 15 laps. That was amazing.
100 laps here may not seem like a whole lot of laps, but when you're side by side, bumper to bumper for the majority of the race, it's very, very, you got to be on your toes and stuff. Now, what was the strategy going throughout the race, knowing that, tire wear really probably didn't play much of effect, but there was a lot of cars out there losing it around turn number 4 coming back onto the front stretch?
I'd planned to see what my car had got for the first 50 laps, and then play it by ear and when the cautions fell. And as I said before, I had a caution come out. I just pitted early and thought I'll go 50 laps till the end. It got me up the front. It got me the track position. It got me, third place, got on the podium. Speak to you guys. All good.
All right, Doug. Well, congratulations on third place here this evening. Is there anybody you want to thank, give a shout out to for this finish here today?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for putting it on, hosting the race, MaxSpeed for broadcasting it, Sim Marketing Solutions, California Midwest Express, and Hazy Designs for the current sponsors. Thank you very much.
All right, Doug. Well, hopefully, man, it'll be off next week, but you got Lucas Oil coming up the week after that. It'll be a night race back here at the track, man. Hopefully, we'll see you then.
Will do.
Well, all right. We have caught up to the second spot here. Brian Jones in that number 21 machine. Brian, man, what a race out there battling up with these fellas. Just hard-fought racing out there toward the end between you, Doug Pickering, and Chuck Kemper, man. Kind of talk about what was going through your mind knowing there was 3 other cars right there.
Yeah, I think this track is one of the best on iRacing, period. Whether it's super speedways or short tracks, I think Lucas Oil, the racing that it produces is just, second to none, at least as far as iRacing goes. The high line was dominant all night, but I mean, that's what you expect when you come here. And it's just really hard to pass anybody on the low side. You really got to squeeze them up kind of into the wall whenever you enter the turn to, have any hope of passing them on the inside. So that's what that was my game plan the whole night, was just if I ever get on the inside, you just got to squeeze them up, and get as much track as you can. And those last 10 laps between Chuck and the 17 car, Doug. I hope that y'all are watching it, because that was, some of the best racing I've seen on iRacing. As far as, how close we were running to each other. I mean, every single lap we were, bumper to bumper, and I hope the fans liked it, and hope we put on a good show.
It was an amazing race. Brian, of course, you being the defending champion here, knowing that you got your hands full with Mr. Aaron Sparrow there. What's it like racing it with Aaron, knowing that he is fast pretty much week in and week out?
Well, I didn't get to do a whole lot of racing with Aaron. He was always kind of out in front of me quite a bit. I know there was one restart where I was in second, he was in first, and for some reason, I don't know if it's an iRacing deal or what, but first place is always on the inside line at this track, and I think, if it was correct, first place should be on the outside. The outside line is definitely where you want to be. So I was lucky enough to be in second place on the restart, and we battled for about a lap. But that's all I had for him. He's just so fast. Anywhere we go, he's fast. So I'm happy with second. Just to be in the top 3 is really great.
Well, all right, Brian. Well, congratulations on second place here this evening. Is there anybody you want to thank, give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, I want to thank Jalopnik.com for paying the bills. And thank you guys at MaxSpeedTV for doing another race for us.
All right, Brian. Well, hopefully, man, we'll see you in 2 weeks back here at Lucas Oil for another night race. Well, that'll bring us to the winner here this evening, Aaron Maspero. Well, Aaron, man, this makes 3 in a row, bud, going to back here. So kind of talk about what you had to do in that number 41 machine to bring it back to victory lane, man.
Yeah, so as Brian said, the outside line was dominant tonight, really. So it was just all about trying to stay up front, trying not to get into the wall, and that was that last couple of restarts was a bit hairy, I have to say. Cars on the inside just seemed to keep disappearing, but we just sat up on the top and stayed patient and waited for the chance, and then managed to take it when it came.
Well, overall race out of 100 laps, now how hard was it to pass? To pass here at Lucas Oil, just to try to get at least one position.
Yeah, you need a bit give and take here, even on that last pass there for Chuck for the lead. I don't know if he lifted before we came out the corner, but I'm pretty sure he lifted down the straight to make sure he didn't give me a bump. It's just so difficult to pass here. You're on the inside, you just don't get the run. But we've got a great group of guys here, so everyone's all bits give and take whenever we can, and yeah, makes some good racing as you saw tonight.
Some great racing indeed. Of course, this will make 3 in a row for you, Aaron. You won Myrtle Beach, you won New Smyrna, and of course Lucas Oil tonight. Now, y'all's off next week, but coming back in 2 weeks, going to be at Lucas Oil again, but it'll be a night race. So you got a mindset for that race, knowing that you have 3 in a row here?
Yeah, I think just stay out of trouble now, to be honest. We're leading the championship with a decent lead now, so keep ticking the points off and then hopefully pick up some silverware at the end of the year.
All right, Aaron. Well, congratulations on your victory here tonight. Is there anybody you want to thank or give a shout out to for this victory?
Yeah, as always, California Midwest Express and Sim Marketing Solutions, but also Hazy Science and Design. So I gave Carl a bit of a brief at the beginning of the year to say, go and do us a truck that will look good on TV, and I think he did an amazing job. So need a paint job, go and check him out.
All right. Well, Charles, do you have anything for Aaron Maspero here tonight for his victory?
Other than just a dominating performance, that pretty much sums it up for Aaron here. Again, congrats on the win. But we don't want to keep anyone here too long, so we're going to move right into your unofficial race results here for tonight. Coming away with the win is going to be the 41 of Aaron Maspero. Second place will go to the 21 of Brian Jones. Third will go to the 17 of Doug Pickering. Fourth will go to the 40 of Chuck Kemper. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 44 of Jake Forster. In the 6th place, it will be Ed Sauls in the 81. 7th place, Rachel Hunt in the 16. 8th place, Sahil Mustak in the 18. 9th place, Landon Heidi in the 87. And rounding out your top 10 here tonight will be Scott Page in the 00. 11th place will go to the 45 of Jason Deere. And 12th place will go to the 36 of Stuart Pomfrey, who did not end up racing with us here. Not sure what happened there. But we want to give a big shout out to all the sponsors that came on board here for the race, whether it's on the MaxSpeedTV side of things or on the racing side. Of course, starting with Walls Beard Co., Sim Speed Shop, Elite 7 Racing, Ohio IndyCar League, iBog, and we don't have their overlay, or their image here in the overlays, but of course Northwest Racing Series, all those here, great partners for MaxSpeedTV on the racing side of things. We want to give a big shout out, of course, to TJ Woodworking, the official championship sponsor of No Excuses Sim Series, and T&D Rustic Decor. They are the title sponsor for the T&D Short Track Series and the T&D Super Sport Series on Monday night. So a big shout out to them. But as always, we want to give a big shout out to all the fans out there who stayed tuned here tonight to watch this race. And as always, have a safe, this case, afternoon and night. And we'll see you at the next broadcast next Sunday afternoon.